Hello losers as well. And in today's video, I just kind of want to go over a few things about the 9.3.0 update that has recently went live and my grievances with it and just kind of how behavior keeps saying that they are fixing issues when they are not. And firstly, I want to say I don't know the reason why behavior is doing it this, especially to killers that have been having ongoing issues for a very long time, Deathsinger being one of them. And just my problem with this. Deathsinger has been a character that has been played by bugs for about like 2, 3, or even 4 years. He has had insta break, he has had left side reeling, he has had like ADS bugs, he's had cockshot, he's had, think of any bug that this killer could have and he's had it. But the problem is that when killers like Twins or killers like School Merchant or killers like, killers that actually have these issues that are like highly publicized and highly like known by the community, those killers actually do get clinkers. But when Deathsinger gets these bugs, cockshot being a big one, it is known by the entire community. This happens to Deathsinger and nothing clinkers, and it's just getting to a point that I don't actually think behavior know how to change Deathsinger in a way without harming his code or harming his ability to use his power. And that is scary to me because of the ramifications that it actually has for any kind of clinkers that we could ask for when it comes to Deathsinger. If the developers do not understand how Deathsinger works or how his code works or how to clink his code or how to fix his issues, then what's the point in asking for add-on passes or asking for power level clinkers or asking for, asking for actual clinkers to Deathsinger that would benefit him? Decreasing his tow radius down to 28 meters or increasing his movement speed to 4.6 when he's out of ammo and so on and so forth. And it's just the ramifications of them saying that they are fixing these issues when they are not terrifies me, because Deathsinger isn't a character that is actually played. Other than the small community of creators that actually play Deathsinger, there isn't actually a lot of people who actually play him. A lot of the casual audience of this game does not play Deathsinger because one, he is too hard to get into. Two, he is someone with a lot of moving parts and someone with a lot of different mechanisms in his power that stop him from being played by people who are playing this game a bit more casually. But also at the same time, the biggest reason why I don't think that Deathsinger is actually going to get a lot of clinkers or actually be able to have all of his things like changed or fixed is because he doesn't bring in a lot of money for behavior. It seems like the biggest like clinkers that are actually made to killers are the killers that actually make a lot of money or the killers that actually have a large audience around them. And Deathsinger not being one of them, actually it kind of signals to me that he's not going to get the clinkers that he needs. The last big change that we got for Deathsinger, if we're talking like power level, like actual power level changing things, was his ADS nerf back in 2021, around that. That was nearly 5 years ago. And since then, Deathsinger has got nothing. This killer needs clinkers, desperately. He needs an add-on pass. He needs a tow radius change. He needs to be able to clink his movement speed when he's out of ammo. Like, the ideas that I'm saying here are only my ideas. And I don't want to come across as someone who actually thinks that I know everything to do with this killer. I don't. At the end of the day, the ideas that I have are ideas that I have. I am not saying that my ideas are the best ideas. I'm just saying these are the best ideas that I have come up with. And at the end of the day, if behavior actually does want Dead by Daylight to live or wants Dead by Daylight to become more competitive or anything like that, they need to start listening to their community, but in the right way. And I do feel like the best way to start listening to this community is listening to people who actually do specialize in certain killers, so who do actually specialize in different types of gameplay. Talking to fucking arts would benefit this game greatly. And the fact that behavior keeps tripping up on themselves, keeps making issues, keeps leaving issues in the game for these killers, while other problems keep going, Blight being a big one. Blight in and of himself is an issue. It shows me that that behavior has lost the passion for this game and also doesn't understand how their older killers need to be changed because they are not listening to the right people. I want this game to live. I want Dead by Daylight to be able to go on for another 5 or 10 years, obviously. I make content for this game. I play this game. I have about 12,000 hours or like 11,000 hours in this game. I want this game to live. So I don't want this to come across as me kind of like bitching or me just kind of like have it like throwing a tantrum or anything like that. I want this to come across as me trying to say my part and trying to improve this game in any way I can. But it is hard to do that when obviously the developers do not hear us. The developers do not listen to us. And the developers developers are not going to be do not have the want to go back and change their catalog. So now I'm in this kind of like weird position where I want to make content about my killer. I want to make content about the history of my killer, about how to fix him, about what people want out of this killer. But that's all going to be in vain if my killer is completely unplayable. Behavior is at a point at the moment that they have fucked up so much that the next update that they do has to be positive. It has to have big changes positively to the game. And if it doesn't, it is going to end up being just over and over in negativity. This community is already as negative as it can be. We do not need the negativity from the developers making these negative changes piling onto that. So yeah, this is getting past the joke. We need good changes for these like older killers in your catalog. Slinger being one of them. I'm obviously just going. Obviously I want Slinger to be better. I'm a Slinger mate, but also there's killers out there like I know like Trapper or like Twins or like these killers that need changes or need like bug fixes or need help in some way are not getting the help that they deserve, and it hurts. I have put 7,000 hours into my killer. I want my killer to reflect that, but the fact of the matter is that with the chance of my spear bouncing off a survivor or the chance of my wheel being broken in 2 seconds, it just isn't. That isn't plausible. I want skill expression to be a big part of Dead by Daylight, and the only way that we're going to get there is by fixing skill expressive killers or fixing skill expressive gameplay. But that kind of gameplay or those kind of killers are being left in the dust when compared to other killers. Like, why did we even give Myers a dash? Other than dashes being like big money or bringing in like a lot of money, there was no reason for dashes to be in this game. No, there was no reason for Myers to have a dash. Sorry, and it angers me because I know some things that will be good for this killer. I just wish that behavior would listen to us. The fact of the matter is, I'm angered. I'm angered by this entire update. We have had 6 months, not 6 months, but 3 months where the developers basically put a hold on new content, and this is what we get out of it: a half-assed update with the base of the update. The things that were taken out were things that behavior already knows that we don't want in the game. The fact of the matter is, 9.3.0 is a joke, and behavior needs to do better. Anyway, that's going to be it for me, losers. I'll see you guys in the next one.